California Governor Gavin Newsom has just signed a new bill into law that creates a pilot program that redefines who is able to take away your gun rights. It's no longer just law enforcement. This pilot program redefines district attorneys as law enforcement, enabling them with the power to file a gun violence restraining order. Now, this isn't just California. If you're in any other blue state, you need to pay very close attention to this because, as we know, with these kinds of laws, they like to do a copy and paste and create these same policies in other states. But even if you're in a red state, you need to be paying very close attention to this as well. Hey everyone, I'm Julie Barrett, founder of Conservative Ladies of America, and I'm back with another bill of the day. Today we are looking at a new pilot program, a bill that was just signed into law by California Governor Gavin Newsom. It is AB 1344, and it sets up a pilot program in 4 counties that now expands upon the people who are able to file a gun violence restraining order. Previously, it was just law enforcement, but now they're expanding this in 4 counties through this pilot program to district attorneys. And if you live in a blue state, well, even if you live in a red state, you probably are well aware that the judicial system, even to the district attorney level, has been captured by the far left, the progressives, and giving district attorneys this kind of power is very concerning. So first, let's take a look at the timeline in California. In 2016, California enacted the GVRO law, that's the Gun Violence Restraining Order law. This allows law enforcement and family to petition the courts to temporarily remove firearms from individuals that are deemed dangerous. Then, between 2018 and 2023, San Diego became the national leader in GVROs, issuing over 3,700 orders, more than any other city. In June of 2024, Attorney General Rob Bonta released a report urging coordinated action to expand GVRO enforcement statewide. That same month, Bonta and San Diego leaders announced the Gun Violence Prevention 2.0 program. This was a $4.2 million expansion to fund law enforcement training, public education, and a new firearms relinquishment task force. Here's a statement from Attorney General Rob Bonta at a press conference last August when he was announcing this and bragging on the city of San Diego and being a leader in gun confiscation.
The biggest thing I want to say is thank you to San Diego for showing the way.
California Attorney General Rob Bonta stood alongside San Diego leaders today, applauding their efforts in using the state's gun violence restraining order program to remove 3,700 firearms off our local streets.
They work. And when protective orders work, we should use them more. San Diego knows that. They've used them more than anyone else. Any other jurisdiction in the state. And it's not because they're overusing it. They're using it appropriately, within the rules, with appropriate due process, when the facts and the law dictate it. Other jurisdictions need to do what they're doing.
So this expansion and this task force that was created in 2024 was really the setup for the pilot program that was passed by the California legislature this year in 2025 and then signed into law on Friday, October 10th by Governor Gavin Newsom. So let's take a look. What does AB 1344 actually do? Well, it authorizes district attorneys in Alameda, El Dorado, Santa Clara, and Ventura to file GVROs. It redefines DAs as law enforcement officers for the purpose of firearm seizure petitions. It also requires annual data reporting to UC Davis Firearm Violence Research Center. This is designed as a pilot program, but it has built-in mechanisms for statewide expansion by 2032. And if you've been watching any kind of legislation, I've only been watching for the last 4 years. And what I've seen is when the legislature sets up a task force, they have the full intention of expanding this policy beyond whatever the pilot program is, beyond whatever the task force is. It's going to be implemented. You can count on that. There are a number of reasons that citizens should be concerned with this law, in particular Second Amendment advocates, but anybody who values their freedom. There are a number of due process concerns here. GVROs can be issued with an ex parte hearing, meaning that the gun owner doesn't need to be present to defend themselves. The DAs are now able to initiate emergency firearm seizures without a full hearing. There's also a huge concern of prosecutorial overreach. DAs are political actors. Let's face it, if you live in a blue state or you've been watching what's going on in a blue state, you have seen the political motivation of these radical left or progressive DAs. Giving them law enforcement powers really opens the door to ideological motivated enforcement. In progressive counties, we could definitely see an overreach here where they're using this as a way to silence dissent or what they don't like as politically motivated speech. Now, the other concern here is with the data reporting. Mandatory reporting includes demographics of restrained individuals. This raises concerns about profiling and biased enforcement and the use of data to justify broader restrictions, which is something we very commonly see with these kinds of policies. It may surprise you to see that one of the organizations opposing this bill was the ACLU of California. Typically, we don't see the ACLU coming in opposition to gun violence policies, but in this case, they were concerned with the civil liberties and prosecutorial powers. Their concern was that giving DAs more authority could lead to abuse, especially in communities that are already over-policed. When both gun rights advocates and the ACLU come together raising red flags about a policy, you know something is very wrong. Now, I want to caution those of you who live in red states who think you are immune. I live in Florida, and what I can tell you from watching the state legislature here over the last couple of years is that we have a major rhino problem. While we are a Republican majority, many of the Republicans in our state legislature like to pass laws kind of similar to this. In fact, we have already got rumors of the Florida legislature coming back in 2026 with some anti-2A bills that doesn't sound very good for us here in Florida. This happens all the time. We saw it especially this year in Texas. They've got a huge rhino problem. This is happening in states across the country, regardless of their red or blue. So I really want to implore you and encourage you to please get involved in your state legislature, find out what is going on, find people in your state that you can follow, join the ranks with us. We are happy to help you and happy to get you plugged in your own state. You can find more on our website, conservativeladiesofamerica.com. You can also reach out to me directly. Email me at julie@conservativeladiesofamerica.com. I'd be happy to chat with you and see how we can get you plugged in your state. But we've all got to do something. It's very discouraging to me to see that most citizens are really oblivious to this stuff. And then when they hear about it, they're really not willing to do something about it. So I really want to encourage you, as you hear about these policies, please start getting involved, make your voice heard, because the only way that we can break down this political system that we've got in our country that really does not serve the citizens is for people like you and me to get up and get in the game and speak up and make our voices heard and round up as many people as we can to get in the game with us. If you are not already, please do subscribe to the channel. That really helps us. We are not funded by any big organizations. We're just funded by people like you who subscribe to our Substack, become a paid subscriber, or send us donations through our Give, Send, Go. I'll have both of those linked in the description of this video as well. But when you subscribe to our YouTube channel, when we get the views, we get a little bit of kickback from YouTube, and that's kind of nice. That helps us pay for the things that we do to get the word out. Please do share this video far and wide. Let's spread the word so people can engage and get in the game and take action. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.